Hello everyone, hello, him hi! I hope everyone is doing good today. Welcome back to Yo, You Like That? Talk show where I bring on awesome, amazing, creating guests, and we talk about something that they like, something that they enjoy, something that they love, and we share it with you, the viewer. That way, you can like it too. That's the rule. While you're here, you are trapped, you can't leave, not until we are done here. But I want to thank everyone for stopping in, and also let's go ahead and introduce our fantastic guest. I'm not very good at drum rolls. But we have Hikaru, the
Hello.
Cosmic Oni. Hello.
Hello. How's it going? How's it going?
It's going good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Like I told you, I've been excited about this all day. So I've been hyping myself up, being like, I gotta be prepped. I gotta look at all these questions and make sure
You
I'm
had to
ready.
comb the pompadour a few times, make sure it's good. By the way, I love the
Oh,
pompadour.
thank you. Thank you. Everybody loves this
Very
thing.
few people are brave enough to attempt the awesomeness that is a pompadour.
Yes. It's my pride and joy.
Yes. Oh man, well, for the uninitiated, please introduce yourself.
Well, I am Hikaru Hiroki, the Cosmic Oni. I am an alien Oni and half a human. I'm an Oni who keeps dying and gets resurrected, giving explanations to why I have so many different models. Like, I have a horse model, or a slime model, or a pixel model. So, yeah, that's everything about me, basically.
Yeah. Cool. Sorry, when you said Space Oni, I was thinking of like Uraha Yatsura.
Oh yeah, well, like a lot of my background is mainly based on like Dragon Ball actually, because when
Oh yeah.
people are like, "Oh, he's an Oni," I'm like, "Actually, I'm an alien," because I have an Oni form. Let me see if I can pop that on real quick. There we go. Yeah, there's that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah, and
Yeah, people don't think about it. Dabura and all the demon race are just really in another part of space.
basically, yeah. But like, I wanted to be like the Piccolo explanation that it's not actually demons or anything. It's an alien, and my horns are my antenna.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. Yo, that's cool. There we go. See, that's some depth. That's some extra character costume. I should do a
I
costume.
like
I should get like a monocle so I can be Professor Ham Ham.
Professor Ham Ham.
Archaeologist, doctorate, F1 driver.
What? That turned into something totally different than I expected.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm super glad to have you on.
Thank you for
And we
having
are
me
going to
on.
be talking about something dynamic, something fantastic, something Detective Comics based.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about DC Comics today. Yo, let's go.
Hell yeah. I'm excited. I love DC Comics. Love everything about it. Well, mostly
Yes.
everything about it.
We'll be going over a good bit of that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man. But hey, what is a DC comic? Is it a Marvel? Is it an
No.
Image?
It's the exact opposite of those. Well, not the opposite. The opposition to those two. It's one of the big three. So we originally had Marvel, and then we had DC for a very long time, and then we had Image come in during like the 90s when that boom came in. But I would say that DC Comics is kind of like the landmark place for where superhero stuff really started. It's older, from my knowledge, I am sure it's older than Marvel because freaking Superman predates so many superheroes.
Superman does predate like everyone.
He's like the godfather of all superheroes. Like when you think of like superhero, who do you think? Mainly it's Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
Batman, Spider-Man, Batman, or Superman. So it's
okay.
three.
To be fair, that's just media. That's our
Yeah,
fault.
yeah.
And just a quick Google check. I don't normally do this, but 5 years older. DC is 5 years older than Marvel.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what I was thinking because it's like it has that age to it, just like by a slight bit. But DC Comics is so fascinating to me. Like it seems to be a era of comics that stays kind of in the silver age, like that like the fantasism of it, like kind of just being like wacky and stuff at times. Like the best example of talking about it is like Batman Brave and the Bold, if you've ever seen that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think that's like the perfect capture of what anything DC is. It can be like one episode or like one comic is like super serious Batman and he is like planted in reality, and then you can go to another comic and it's like Batman is fighting like Darkseid or like Captain Carrot or some weird wacky character. It's like that is just DC. It could be so many different things. And to me, the characters are like the new modern mythology. I can't say that for like Spider-Man or like Captain America or anything because I don't feel like they're at that level. They're more grounded in being like humans. But for like Batman or Superman or Wonder Woman, they're like the new gods of Olympus.
Yeah, no, that's always like a good comparison I make to people. Like, especially like the way that they always have like the Justice League Watchtower kind of like watching over.
Oh yeah.
They do kind of like put themselves like above society, where in most cases the Avengers would normally have like this is the Avengers mansion, this is the Avengers tower, this is the Avengers we're squatting in the park because Ultron destroyed our home again.
Yeah, yeah. And usually they're always based in New York, whereas with their bases, the Hall of Justice is like in Washington D.C. It's like right at the heart of America. And then you have, if you want to go even further than that, then you have, like you were saying, the Watchtower, which is above everything. So
it's in space.
Yeah, it's two different areas of how you're like even seeing it in the comics. It's like these guys are just normal people that live in like an apartment building or something. These guys over here are living in like triple S plus like estates and above everything. So it's a good.
You have all the people with the strongest powers up in space, ready to take on intergalactic stuff, and then also Batman's there because he pays for it all.
Yeah, yeah.
And then in the Hall of Justice, a little down one, you've got Green Arrow, you've got the Atom, you've got Mr. Terrific.
Oh man, and even those characters, they're really powerful themselves too.
Yes.
Crazy, very crazy how many. And I think another really cool thing about DC Comics is that they embrace having like people with multiple powers. Like we have Elastic Man and Plastic Man that can be on like
They're different. They're different. Don't let anyone argue with you. They're two different power sets.
kind of, yeah. Like Plastic Man can just basically like turn into anything, and then Elastic Man just stretches.
He's just a stretchy
He's
guy.
just a
That's
stretchy
like
guy that's a detective.
when Miss Marvel got her powers, the embiggening.
Uh-huh.
And everyone's like, "Oh, that's just like Mr. Fantastic stuff." I'm like, "No,
No, it's
Mr.
definitely
Fantastic stretches. She makes things bigger."
yeah. Well, like even sometimes it's like different for Mr. Fantastic too, because sometimes they make him like be able to change into different things. Like he can turn to like scissors, or like he could have his eye popping out or whatever, or stretching out.
Okay,
To,
yeah,
like
I've seen
tell
the
us
eye popping out one. That always like freaks me
that's
out so
always so
much.
weird. Somebody noticed that in like one of the Illuminati comics or something, and they're like, "Why the heck is his eyes bulging out?" And so he's like, "I think he's just trying to like see things better." It's just a weird panel.
It's also the thing with comics. So usually the power set, how it's used, will determine on the author or like the
Hmm.
writer and the artist working together.
It's very true. Very true. People decide what powers can be used at what time or what is added on.
Or sometimes someone will just have like a like power boost or a power
Oh
change
yeah.
or just a good dynamic to just kind of make things fresh.
Superman is speaking of power boosts and stuff like that. Superman is one for having those like all the time is what it seems like a lot of the time now. I mean,
Okay, gotta change it up just a little bit,
yeah,
just a
we got
little
the
bit.
freaking electric blue Superman. Uh,
Electric Blue. I was
electric
hoping you would bring that up.
Electric
I
Blue
love
is
that one so
interesting.
much.
I think it's cool. I think it's neat. I think a lot of people hated it for I don't know what reason. I think it's actually neat for changing it up and like
They're giving that power now to his son,
once
John
I
Kent.
saw that, I was like, oh, yo, that's a good way of like differentiating like the two Supermen, like letting them have their own powers or letting them be able to do things. I know that they try to also give him like the sun explosion power too that Superman had in New 52.
Yeah.
Like that stuff, I have that whole arc where he gets that power. That's actually some of the coolest stuff that like John Romita Jr. and I think Dan Jurgens was writing that at the time. He was writing that whole like story arc with Superman,
Yeah.
but it was really good. And like the way that they were like, oh, it's like an extension of like the heat vision, except for he just shoots it out all of his body. I was like, that's actually a really cool
Then it takes him
explanation.
a bit to like recharge.
Oh
And it's
yeah,
like, oh, you kind of get
he's
that.
like a man for like 2 or 3 days, and it's like,
It's
the issue after that is so good, where he stops a crime without his powers, where he's like, well, he just steps in front of the gun, and he's like, okay, I gotta pull this bluff off here and not get shot.
luckily I kept the physique.
Oh yeah.
Luckily these pecs will
Luckily,
hopefully stop back.
luckily I still have these even without my powers. So yeah,
Man,
I love that. I love Superman's whole like them trying to change things up. So it's a nice thing to do every now and then.
it is, and then like you said, it definitely has like a different kind of vibe and feel than like what a lot of what Marvel does.
Hmm.
Um, and it helps to kind of like give it its own identity, which is why I think whenever they like use the characters and a lot of stuff, it's a you get to have like a lot of fun with it. Like whenever like Lego Batman and Lego Superman were
Yes.
in like the Lego movie, like that was so charming. That was so fun and charming.
So I think another thing I really like about DC is they've actually had progress with the characters of like things like sure, Batman may still be like maybe 40 or 35 or whatever, and he has like 4 Robins and they all seem to age, but he doesn't. But at least we're seeing like them grow and go on and do things, and like Batman has a son still after so many years, and Superman has a son still after so many years. And then you look over at Marvel, and Spider-Man is back to being single once again.
No, don't remind me. I'm still so upset over
Yeah,
this.
no, it's so bad.
They're treating Spider-Man
They
so much like a punching bag
they
lately.
just want to keep going back to square one with him, and it's like that's. I think people are just tired of that We want to see the
So tired of
changes. We
that.
want to see the changes and like more characters
Want to
spinning
let
off from
people
each other.
grow. The Flash gets to have 2 kids.
Yes, the freaking Flash family is like a excellent example of like there's so many different cool speedster characters, and like Wally, I like how he is. I really like how Wally has come back. Like he had
Yeah.
a bad rap a little bit, like at the start of the like not at the start of Rebirth, like near kind of like the middle end towards of it, where it was like, oh
Mm-hmm.
man, they're just gonna make, and spoilers for anybody who hasn't read Heroes in Crisis, but they made freaking Wally a killer, and I was like, oh shit, no, don't do this to my boy. Don't do that to him. He's already been through enough. He lost his family in the multiverse traveling crap, and now you're gonna make him a
Damn
mirror.
new 52.
Uh, I think there's some good nuggets in the new 52. I'll be honest with that. The whole Batman run, I think people can.
Oh yeah, no, the Batman run was good. Getting
Mhm.
introduced to like the Gotham kids,
Oh yes,
like they were cool. They were good characters.
I think
Uh,
the whole run of that is way better than any anything that Tom King wrote. I think people will say that because it just ended up not being anything at the end of it. Like Tom King's whole
yes.
run was just like Batman depressed, but in Snyder's and Capullo's run, he was like actually cracking jokes, and there were some really cool ideas explored, like Jim Gordon becoming Batman. That was really cool.
That was so weird, but it introduced a good villain for him.
They did. It was really cool. I loved his super heavy armor, and then his armor, or not his armor, but his suit that he wore outside of that. So it was like, oh, so there's like kind of like two Batman if you think about it.
It's-
That's awesome. And he was like working with like the police a little, so it was like a police suit Batman, and it was like, well, this is weird but also cool, and I don't know
Why
how this
don't they do
works.
this more often? And then like the next arc
Mhm.
with King is like, yeah, the police have a an armored guy to be their Batman, but guess what? He's a fascist and a racist,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, well, I guess this is a bit more grounded, but god damn it.
Yeah, yeah. It's just interesting, like comparing people's runs and stuff like that. I think like just like knowing the differences between those runs, it's like, okay, here's clearly somebody who had like things planned out and they let them do it, and then for King's run, I don't know why they stopped him from doing anything. I think maybe because, oh wait, no, I actually know why they stopped him, because the Hulk beat Batman in sales one time, literally one
Oh.
time. The Immortal Hulk beat sales for
Okay,
Batman.
all right. The start of Immortal Hulk
Hmm.
is way better than it had any right to be.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really amazing.
Like the first 2 collected volumes are some of like the best like work Hulk's had since like World War Hulk, or
Yes,
Planet Hulk.
yes. It like we're just gonna get talking on the Marvel stuff now. Now that we're talking about,
I mean, it blends together. It
it's
blends together.
exactly how they saw it. DC's like, oh man, they're talking about Immortal Hulk over there, not about Batman and how he didn't get married to Catwoman.
Oh man, that made me so mad, that whole arc too.
That was just, it's waste. It just feels like wasted, like potential, that whole
It
entire
was.
run.
It super
It's
was.
almost like the opposite of like that Spider-Man run with Nick Spencer. Like he was like really building up things to where he's like repairing everything in like the continuity of Spider-Man. Now
Yeah,
they
Nick
like,
Spencer's like, I'm gonna undo one more day,
and he
and
did
then immediately,
what's it? Sins Past? Is that the one
yep,
with Gwen?
undid Sin's past
Yep,
too.
he did two things where he helped out, and now they're doing like worse stuff. Like they're like making it like so worse off, and it's like, oh my goodness, come on, why?
I mean, like starting off like immediately going into Beyond right after, I felt
Mhm.
was a bit too soon. Like Beyond would have been like good if they given like Peter a bit more time to enjoy things for a
Oh
bit,
God,
you
yes.
know, kind of build him back up some. No, they go straight from like cancer coma
Yeah.
to having to lose his brother again.
I
Again.
don't
How
know
many times
what
are we
their
gonna lose Ben
problem
Riley?
is with
I swear to
Ben.
God, Ben Riley's such a fucking uh like Wally. Ben Riley's the Wally West of
He is, because Ben was
just keep beating the
awesome.
shit out of him.
Ben was awesome at start, and then they brought him back for like, what was that new clone one?
Clone
Yeah, the
conspiracy.
clone conspiracy, and he's evil for, I don't
That was
know
a good
what reason.
twist. It was a good
It
twist for a
it
bit.
is, but like why is he evil now? Like, why? Like, it's
I mean, to be fair, like he didn't want to say he was evil. He's like, no, I'm bringing back all the people we
true,
lost.
but like,
Isn't that good? And then Peter's like, but is it really? And then Ben's like, okay, it's not. But I've kind of like dipped my head too far into this. I
yeah.
can't go back now.
He just seems like he's been like they've been stuck on making him a bad guy for some reason. It's like, why? Just make him like the other Spider-Man again, and like have 2 Spider-Men around, or like 3 Spider-Men around, because freaking Miles too. We have so many Spider-Men around. It's crazy.
Need more. Well, like Batman has a whole bunch of more
Oh,
Batman
it's
now
true.
too. I mean,
Yeah.
we've always had like Batwing
Hmm.
and like all the Batgirls too.
Oh yeah, yeah. True, true.
But there's also the other Batman, the black one. I forget his name. But
Uh, it's Tim Fox.
Tim Fox. Okay, yeah.
There's Tim Fox, and then people were thinking that it was going to be Luke Fox for a long time, and I thought that would be cool too, because Luke Fox is actually a really neat character. He's like Spider-Man. It's like
Hmm.
what if Batman was Spider-Man? He had to keep his identity secret from his parents. Uh, and that's kind of a neat subject. It's also kind of like Batman Beyond as well with that too,
Yeah.
because of his suit and everything. Like I really liked his suit and his whole, like, I have like a few comics of like what was going on with him. Just like his whole entire story of just trying to like keep things together,
It's-
being Batwing, and I was like, that would be a really neat change for Batman. But then they're like,
yeah.
everybody was like, oh, it's gonna be Luke Fox online. They're like, let's make it his secret brother Tim Fox.
Mwah, mwah,
Ah,
mwah. It's
come
like, oh, of
on,
course, the secret brother. Why didn't
the
I remember
secret
that?
brother that nobody talked about.
I'm sure he was in one issue of Detective Comics in the
Or
90s that they
maybe
pulled
one
him out
issue
of.
of Batwing or something. I'd never seen him mentioned or
It's-
anything. And it was like, I think it's because he was like a disappointment or something. And he like, I think in the comic that I read of him, he like accidentally ran somebody over with his car or something. And I was like, what the heck?
it would either be that or his mom was a supervillain.
No, I don't think Luke or Tim's mom was a supervillain. I just think he was like absolutely a disappointment to Lucius, which is crazy that Lucius is their dad. So crazy to me.
And but yeah, there's a whole bunch of Batmans, there's a
Mhm.
whole bunch of Supermans, a whole bunch of Flashes, so many Green Lanterns. I love all the new
I
additions to the
love
Green
Green
Lanterns.
Lantern. I love Kyle's still my favorite, except for like if you bring anything old up, like the old writer stuff about him, like that stuff
Yo,
it's just so bad. They gave him such a bad reputation, and they allowed so many bad things in those comics. I was like, oh my goodness.
well, what was the name of his Asian friend that he had at the
I
office?
don't.
What was that again?
We don't bring that up. And also the fact that like they had him dating like uh this one girl who was young at first, and then she turned older, and they're like, this is okay, and then they made her mentality like that of a child. Like later on, it's like, what the hell? Who is writing this?
Ugh.
Why
You know someone.
is just
yeah,
like,
yeah,
what the fuck is
yeah.
this shit that I'm reading here? This is weird. Why? Like, there's a lot of like comic examples like that where it's just like, huh? Why is this happening now? And who approved it? There's a few examples like that for DC and Marvel.
Yeah, nah.
Unfortunately.
It's sometimes the writers are just like not a good pick.
Not at all. And that's especially seeing with the Spider-Man run right now. I don't think there's been anything super egregious over at DC though at the moment. There's been some pretty good stuff
Hmm.
recently that I've seen. So I haven't seen anything where everybody's been like, "Oh my god."
Nothing
DC."
egregious, but there is something I want to bring up later that we'll talk about. But
Okay.
I was going to ask, what do you think was the first DC comic that you can remember reading?
The first DC comic. That's a good question. I have that comic. It was given to me by my dad. I think it's an old Justice Society comic. Like it's not like an
Oh.
original run or anything. But no, wait, no, it's All Star Squadron. That's what it is. It's All Star Squadron, and basically it had like every DC superhero in it. And it's like kind of during the Silver Age, and you get to see members of the Justice Society and the Justice League, and it was like original Manhunter was in there, original
Oh
Atom
wow,
Smashers.
original Manhunter.
There's a
It's-
huge there's either two double split page splashes of where it's just all the members sitting at the table, and it's really cool. Like I'll have to send you like the screenshots of it, but that was probably my first one I ever read, where like
Okay.
I was looking at it and I was like, yo, this is cool. But like in terms of like how long I've known about DC characters, basically forever since I was like a kid, I've been watching like Batman and Superman and all
Oh
that
yeah, no.
because it's like
When I was
around it.
young, I got to see like the old. They weren't like black and white, but they were like early color Superman
Oh,
cartoons where it
like,
was just like the evil scientist always has the death ray. Lois Lane is always kidnapped.
oh yeah.
Superman always gets hit by the laser, falls into the water, and everyone thinks he's dead. But then he comes back out, and it's like, yo, smash that laser, scare that doctor.
I see a few of my friends are in the chat there. Another broke geek and New in time. Hello guys.
Hello.
Hi. Good to see you here.
Which is going to be very crazy. The first DC comic I read was The Death of Superman.
Oh really? Wow.
Yes.
What made you want
I
to
did
read
not
it?
have any context for like the whole fight with
Doomsday.
the big guy with Doomsday. Yeah, I just saw just like, hey, we're punching each other and the windows are breaking. That
It was
was
like the anime
that
type
was my
battle.
first experience with it. I'm like, oh shit, this good. This is pretty intense. Oh, he's dead. Ah, well, I feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that might have been some people's first experience with Superman, really. Like, because the death of Superman was so large at the time. Like,
Yep, it
it was,
ruined death in
it
comics.
really did. It's like,
Before that, people stayed dead,
yeah,
unless you're Uncle Ben.
yeah. Which, thank goodness he hasn't come back yet. If they are gonna bring him back, how I've always imagined it is like, in not for a long time. I'm just meaning like if Peter gets married again, somebody needs to be like, okay, Uncle Ben, you get to be on Earth for like an hour or so to hang out with Peter during the wedding. I'm like, that would make that so cool. Is seeing like Uncle Ben at the wedding and somebody's like, I don't understand what's going on here, but I'm here and I'm gonna celebrate with you. I was like, that would be cool. That's just my idea. Don't steal from me. It's copyright.
Don't worry, they won't. They'll never bring him back.
They'll
I'm
never.
pretty sure it's a rule in the office. Everyone has it stapled to their work desk. You're not allowed
You're
to bring
not
Uncle Ben
around.
back. The one rule at Marvel.
You're not allowed to bring him back whatsoever, unless it's an alternate Ben.
I forget, is Paul Kent dead or alive at the moment?
He's alive. I'm pretty sure.
Is he? Okay, I
They
forget.
always do an on and off about that. I think he's alive.
I
That would be great if they actually had a Superman comic where he's like, "Is my dad dead or alive?" I think he's alive.
can't remember right now.
There's
Oh no, yeah, no,
continuity.
okay, no, he is alive because
Continuity right now.
John went and saved their house from getting blown up. I
Yes.
was okay.
Yeah.
I had to think about it because I didn't know.
Either he
I
got,
didn't know.
either he
Like,
died
did he die in a car accident?
or
Did he die with a heart
yeah.
attack?
It's you never know with DC Comics. They could kill Paul.
Did the
Kent
Green
at a-
Arrow's arrow bounce off Superman and
Oh
kill
no,
him?
not the Injustice death.
Oh, that was so dumb.
Oh.
That was so dumb.
It is, but also like freaking Tom Taylor did so good with that comic. He gave
He
so much
did. He worked
character to all
way
of
too good for what he
Mhm.
for probably what he was paid.
He's
God.
probably one of my favorite writers because he knows how to write like a big ensemble. He wrote a few issues of like Avengers comics, and they're the best stuff because all the team members in that is usually new Avengers, like the new Avengers team.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then
usually
I do like
picks
his
from
work because
them.
I always love the new Avengers.
He usually picks from them. Well, he's never written for new Avengers, but like
Oh, okay.
usually like the events are like War of the Realms and stuff like that.
Oh, he
And-
did War of the Realms.
yeah,
That was actually pretty
he,
good.
Well, he did like tie-in issues for it. He did
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
two or four where it was like Captain America, Spider-Man, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage, and those guys were like members of the new Avengers. I'm like, please, if you ever get a chance, Tom, write a new Avengers
Take it.
book.
Take it.
Write it, because the stuff for Avengers right now, from what I was seeing, is not good because Jason Aaron's
Oh
run.
no, I fell off Avengers
Yeah.
after what was the last time I read Avengers? God, I read like nothing of like the whole Mephisto war or that whole like run like pre. Man, what happened to the Avengers that had all the kids?
Oh, the Young Avengers.
No. Like when the Avengers had
That's
Nova and Spider-Man,
that
Morales,
was
and Miss
that's
Marvel.
like all new,
That they got rid of that so fast.
Yeah.
Ah.
all new, all
Teen Titans are the Justice League now.
Yes, which is really cool to see, and I really like that because that was the original idea at the end of New 52. There was like a Justice League comic where Batman looked over at Nightwing. He's like, "You're gonna lead the Justice League," and I'm like, "Yes, that would be so cool to see." Is him finally doing that and like actually like taking a step forward in like the career of being a superhero and leading a super team like as large as the Justice League. And now they're doing it, and I'm like, yes, that's so cool. That's so awesome.
Yeah, Nightwing is definitely like the most grounded. I enjoy like the camaraderie they're building with him and John. I always felt bad that John like aged up so much that he kind of passed Damian.
Yeah, it just sucks that you'll never get those years back of him being like a kid.
I mean, I guess technically with New 52, everyone lost 10 years if you stop and think about it.
Yeah, true. True, except for the adults. I mean, they stay the same age.
They stay the same age.
Stay the same. That's the freaking Matthew McConaughey meme right there. He says they stay the same.
It's all those Superman and Justice pills that keeps everyone looking young.
That's true. Yeah, freaking I always think it's kryptonite pills because I thought they were green for some reason. Are they green? I can't remember.
They are green.
Okay.
I don't know why they're green because it's not kryptonite, but
it
yeah.
reminds me of kryptonite. I always think they're kryptonite pills. I'm like, kryptonite doesn't give them power. That would just kill them. The only person that gives
Monica
power...
Rambeau ate them like Pez and Tic Tacs, and then went crazy.
Like freaking the only.
Oh wait, not Monica Rambeau. God damn it, what's her name? Martinez.
Yes,
Officer Martinez.
Oh no, wait, it's crap. I don't even remember her name either now. She's the second question. I know that. Second or third question. She's the female one.
She was hitting it with Huntress.
Yes, she was.
I don't blame her. Huntress is just like mwah, chef's kiss.
Dude, well, I don't know if it's still going on in the main line or whatever, but she's with Batwoman too as well.
Is she? Okay.
Yeah.
I always get very like confused at like where people are sometimes and things.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
That was the whole Pa Kent situation that we were doing for a second. That we're like, where is Pa Kent like dead or not? We don't know. We don't know the state of things right now in the comics.
Red Arrow, are you Arsenal or are you?
Okay. So
are you hanging out with Red Hood or?
Thought Nightwing leading a team was Young Justice, unless there's a whole other. Yeah, that was like a long time ago. That was quite a bit ago, right? Like, freaking Young Justice.
Yeah,
like,
Teen Titans and Young Justice were two different teams for a while. Nightwing ran Young Justice while Tim Drake ran the Teen Titans.
Yes. Is it?
And basically it was going to be like the whole like, hey, we have now a midpoint, the passing of the torch kind of thing. It's like, this is where you go to train to be a superhero, and also for some reason Deathstroke tries to kill you a lot.
Yes.
And over here as well, where you'll fight like the people that the Justice League aren't available to fight.
Yeah, nowadays it's so weird because Young Justice was never referred as Young Justice in the comics beforehand, but then when Michael Bendis came in, he's like, let's call him Young Justice, and it's like, that's not the team's name. They're just called the Team. From all my knowledge, that's what they were named.
I wouldn't be surprised. Brian Michael Bendis has a tendency to just kind of like, all right, this is how it's going to be, and this is how it always was.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, well, all right. I mean, you're working on like seven. You're working on like 7 books at the moment, so we can't tell you to stop.
Yeah. He always has like some tropes or something, like having some war that's not important be important, like the Rand Thanagarian War, and it's like that doesn't even matter. Like that's not
doesn't even matter.
a big thing, and he made it a big thing in his Naomi book. It's like that nobody really cares about that in DC. That's not a big thing that's having ramifications all over the place.
It'll come back though. It'll come back in a thing. I promise. I promise it will. It'll totally come back.
Writer that I'm trying to get to pick up my storyline after I'm done writing this will do it, and then doesn't do it. Does their own thing. Like any comic.
Oh man, I'm just thinking about the guy that had to take over Green Lantern after Geoff Jones was done.
Oh yeah.
Here you go, man. The keys are all yours. Thanks, bro.
Goodness. Well, like they did a good job. I think the Rebirth run was really good. Like afterwards.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It was like too good. Like it ends like so well. They could have stopped making Green Lantern for like a year or two.
That's true. Yeah, like it almost feels like there's too many comics. Have you ever felt that? Like there's
yes, every day.
It's like
every Tuesday and Wednesday, I feel there are too many comics.
It's like I feel like maybe there should be seasons. Like I've always had the idea. It's like, okay, so for one quarter you have Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, all that. You have like the well known, and then for another quarter of a season, you have like kind of some B-listers, and then for another quarter, C-list. Get some titles out that need to be like looked at, or need some characters that need to be looked at where you can focus on them more. Because there's so many titles out now, it just seems like everything eventually ends up just kind of overtaking each other, and it's like, holy crap! Like, there's a lot of choice here, and it's not easy.
It's not. And comics have only gone up like so much. Like early '90s, like 99 cents, $1.99, $3.99 for a double size special.
I think
Nowadays it's like $10 to $12 for like a double
I
size
think
special.
DC is less than Marvel, right? It's like $1 less from what I
It's like $1 less, yeah.
And then also they did a big brain move, and they're like, okay, we're gonna release everything on Tuesdays earlier for everybody now, and become our own self-publishing place.
I mean, it was smart.
It was pretty smart. I thought that was a good move. I was like, man, they're like thinking with their heads, like for once. There's a lot of times where they don't, and I'm just like, DC, come on, I love you guys, but you have problems. A few times.
Their whole live action movie department, that's how I feel. But
Yeah.
their animated movie department, hot damn.
Yes.
I'm really excited to watch that new Superman show.
Yes, the freaking Superman shows got me so pumped. I am super excited. They have the guy who played Huey from The Boys voice,
Yes.
and I was just like, yes, that's such a good choice.
It's like, people are like, it's so hard to make a Superman story. It's like, no, it's not. It's
Not at all.
really, really easy.
Yeah, people are like, oh, he needs to be more.
You just make a good guy having a hard time trying to, balance, being like a god
Yes.
and among men. And also the girl's really, really cute.
Yes, freaking Lois Lane looks amazing in that. They definitely gave her like more tomboy aesthetic to her, and I'm like, I like
It's always
it.
how I felt she should be, personally.
Yeah, she's more of like a go-getter. She's not like a girly girl. So it's nice to see like a original Lois Lane. Like, you look over here and it's like very very like 50s-esque type of character where it's like, I'm working here, but I'm also the go-getter, but I'm also girly. And it's like, and now she's like, I don't take crap from nobody, and I will shoot you in the face to get this story. I get my shit done.
I will twerk that ear right off your
I will
head.
I will get this done without Superman, and that's kind of nice. It's kind of cool. And then she's even had her own book and stuff too.
Yeah.
With Brian Michael Bendis taking over the Superman title, but that was not a good time either.
I mean, everyone's got their moments. Everyone's got their years they shine.
Okay. But like, they should have had opposite books, Tom King and Brian Michael Bendis, because their Walmart runs of like the books, Superman Up in the Sky and Batman Universe, they had those characters switch, and both those books were amazing.
Yeah.
And it was
I mean, but those don't count. They're not allowed to count.
Hey, Superman Up in the Sky one is so good though. I have that. I have the hardcover for it, and it's a really...
I call the Walmart comics the Shonen Jump of America.
Yeah, basically, like, it's unfortunate how those got treated, and like, I don't. It was hard bringing comics back to the normal stores, and they're still doing
Yeah,
it now.
it still is.
Yeah, they're still doing
It used to
that.
be like at every pharmacy. It'd be right next to the cashier spot.
Yeah.
You'd have 16, 18 different books
I
just all
remember
there.
Be like Sonic comics or like Archie.
Yeah, the Archie Sonic run. That's where I got my first. It was the Trial of Peter Parker
Oh, nice.
comic at the local pharmacy. And it
I
had the Green Goblin. It had Kane. It
ooh,
was good. Good times.
it was the good old '90s.
Man, okay. All right. Nightfall. I really like Azrael's Batman suit. I don't care if it's way over the top in 90s and shit. I love that.
That's a fine.
I'll die on this
opinion.
hill.
That's a fine opinion. I think it's an okay suit. I don't think it's the worst suit ever. I think people really trash on it for not no reason, but they're like, man, that is the worst thing. I'm like, are you serious? Like, there's worse bat suits. There's way worse that I've seen. But then, like, okay, so they'll like that suit, but they won't like that suit, but they will like any of the armors in the new 52 run that Batman has, where he has like the big bulky armor where he fights all those
Oh
talons,
yeah.
and then the one giant armor that he uses in the end game storyline.
Oh yeah, ways to just to fight Superman
Yeah.
for just like that one part.
Those are admittedly cool, though. I will say that those are really,
They're
really.
cool. Like, they're very like aesthetic. Like, hey, I need these
Well,
now.
I mean,
It's like, okay, yeah, that makes
basically
sense.
the Azrael armor, if you think about
The Asgard armor is so try hard. It's like you could tell this guy is like such an inferiority
it.
complex.
Azrael is a funny character, just being like, just like this crazy guy. Yep, I'll make him Batman. I won't like let any of my wards become Batman. Just this random guy that I started to work with.
The Lord tells me to punish the unvirtuous. He'll be great. He'll be great. Nightwing's like, are you crazy?
Saint Dumas, do I eat this Cheeto or not? He's like in the corner saying that. He's like hyperventilating with like freaking drool coming out his mouth.
It's like giving Light Yagami the bat suit.
Oh my gosh.
Here you go, man. You'll be good with it, right? Of course. The god of death behind me agrees.
I would I can't. Oh, you've put an idea in my head that I want to see now. I want to see freaking light now. That'd be awesome.
Nightwing's like, Bruce, he's going to prison and just killing all of the people. He's like, no, he
I
wouldn't
know
do
who
that.
it is. It's Light Yagami. How'd you figure it out? So well, you see by his penmanship, only one person has it. It's this high schooler here in Japan. That'd be great. I would love that. We need more like manga crossover stuff for
Yeah, like when the Simpsons did the Death Note episode. Only, like
I forgot.
comics and not.
I forgot about that almost. Oh my God, you put like that memory back in my head. I need to look at that again. Freaking
It's silly.
Death Note is my favorite anime, so that's something like I would be addicted to watching.
Let's see. Oh man, how about the push for Black Adam to be like the new main character of DC? That was such a disaster.
That failed so bad. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with that. Like, he doesn't really have much to him.
No.
Like,
If I had to compare him, I guess he's supposed to be like the Doctor Doom of the DC universe.
kind of, yeah. He's an anti-hero, so he very much is like Doctor Doom, where
Yeah, country over man, ego over unity, that kind of thing.
yeah, it's very much a similar kind of way that he works there, but he is less complex and less exciting to see.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, he's kind of a one-note guy, right?
really, yeah.
I want to say he's lacking a lot of like depth to make him
It
interesting.
would be cool.
I
if
mean,
he
you know,
just was on the Justice. Like they tried to put him on the Justice League for a bit, but to make him a main character, you kind of need to make him more exciting, and
yeah.
not like the way that he has been for like several years is just kind of like, and that's it. Like that's how I would.
I'm angry, man. You are in my airspace. I will fight you.
Literally, for real. And I guess that's why that's kind of why a movie fails about him too, because he's so one note. Like The Rock,
that's why they had to introduce 6 other heroes in that movie.
yeah, The Rock. Like I didn't watch it. I will admit this.
I watched part of it. A friend showed me like 10 minutes of it. I'm like, okay, I think I get the whole
saw
movie.
like 5 minutes of it, and I was like, man, that's generic. That's a very generic scene out of any other superhero movie. And I like how The Rock, throughout the years, was like, this is gonna be the best, and I'm really focusing on this character, and I really have like a connection to him. And it's like, then the movie's just a dud. It's like, oh man, like, what are you doing, bud? What were you doing?
They should have introduced him first in a Shazam and then did it afterwards. It would have just been better.
The fact that they didn't want to, like, there's like a cut scene from the first Shazam movie where they're like sitting around the chairs, and they're like, "Who's that chair for?" And nobody says anything, and then like, I don't remember the purple one's name, but she's like, "Whoever it is, they're family." I was like, "Oh, that would be great!" Like,
Yeah,
fight and stuff, and then have like, just
and then
have
like
him
forgive
fight.
him at the end, and then at the end they're all sitting at that big table.
That would be great, but they're not gonna do it at all anymore now, because then that failed, and then I guess the other Shazam movie failed too, which sucks to hear because the first Shazam
I
was awesome.
I didn't even know it was out whenever I heard it was out. I think it came out on HBO like last week, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
it's okay. I'm not that invested, sadly.
yeah. It's sad that like things that were once good have become bad now. I hope with this new arrangement of James Gunn coming in and taking over some stuff and like really trying to like reboot everything and make things good makes.
Just as long as not everything is Guardians of the
I hope
Galaxy, we
not.
should be fine.
I hope not either. I hope he's just
Like there needs to be some serious movies. Like Suicide Squad, it can be silly. It was better silly. It was actually really entertaining.
that's okay. So I saw the original one on my birthday, and then I saw the new one on my birthday too. And when I saw that first one, I
Time
was
is
like,
cyclical.
yes, sir, yeah. I was like, oh man, this sucks. This first one does. I was like, that was really disappointing. And then now that next one, I was like, man, that redeemed like everything right there. That just made everything better with this like title. So thank goodness for that. It didn't make the other one good. It made
No, it doesn't make the other
was,
one
like,
good, but
it
it's
made up for that last one. It like took the taste out of like my mouth.
yeah. I don't think there's like a single like bad part of that movie. I'm like, no, this is like just like a solidly well made movie all the
And
way
it's
through.
that movie is very much DC with how wacky it gets.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm like that's what I'm talking about with like DC. They're not afraid to be like, okay, so these like bunch of ragtag like super villains go out here and then they face a Silver Age villain because I don't want to ruin who it is on the stream. I don't want anybody who hasn't seen the movie to not know who it is. Like that's just so awesome to me that they were like willing to go with that idea for the end of the movie. I was just like, yes, embrace the silly, do it. That is DC to a core. Is you embrace the silly Silver Age ideas and just go with it, or like make it make sense. And
yeah.
that's why I like Grant Morrison too, and how
Oh yeah,
he
shit.
like
Grant Morrison really knows how to
integrates
write those
the
characters.
Silver Age stuff into the comics, into modern day stuff. Like I love his explanation for all the Silver Age things for Batman is he took hallucinogenic drugs and all his adventures of like going to the planet Zerana and stuff like that, or like Batmite is like just a voice in his head. It's just so
He's from the Nth Dimension, the one next to the Batman of Oz and Ra.
yeah. But now Batmite is real because he's a fourth dimensional imp that shows up all around all the time.
Nightwing has an imp too.
Forgot about that. That they added that recently. I was like, oh my god, no more fifth dimensional imps. No, no.
Just as long as not Medzitsuplex or whatever his name was.
Mixopitalik.
Yeah.
I did not know his name for the longest time. Some
I
people
still can't say it.
people say it differently. Like everybody does. Like there was a scene in going back to The Rock, the Journey 2 movie. It was like Journey to the Center of Earth, and then there's Journey 2 with
Yeah.
Rock in it. And there's some girl, and she's like, this thing's called Mixopitalik, and it was like a slug or something. And then he's like, oh, cool. And then she's like, no, it's not actually named that. That's something from a Superman comic. I was like, what the fuck? Why is this
Yeah.
knowledge so weird?
That's silly.
Yeah.
All right. So, if you could break it down as a hard choice, what's your favorite hero?
My favorite hero of all time.
DC wise, yeah.
There is a very obscure character that I really like his powers and his story, and his name is Resurrection Man. And he keeps dying, but each time he resurrects, he gets a new power, and it's super fascinating. And like, there's a mystery of like who is chasing after him, and then he also has like hell and heaven like going after his soul. So he has to deal
Oh
with
wow.
angels and devils and like scientific people and like the Suicide Squad. This is during like New 52, the run that
Yeah.
and it was really good and really interesting. Unfortunately, it got canceled after like 12
Oh.
or 11 issues, and I was like, dang it.
So about as long as Static. Oh, I think Static Shock only lasted like 7.
Yeah, it didn't last long for that run, unfortunately, for the New 52 stuff. New 52 had a lot of duds at the start.
Boom, crash.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the unfortunate part of that.
Okay.
I wish that run would have gone on because it felt like it was going somewhere, and they never. I don't think they've ever used Resurrection Man ever again. I've not seen.
Time to email someone and be like, hey,
Yeah,
throw him
his
into the
original run is
question,
like
or Constantine.
his original run is like 50 issues long, and I was like, that's cool. But this one that they tried to do is only 12, and I'm like, darn, like this is a neat concept, and like everything that's going on has my like interest, but they just kind of had to end it because nobody want like it actually had an ending, thank God, but it ended so shortly. I was like, I want
Yeah,
more.
you
I want more.
definitely kind of like felt like they could have gotten on a bit more.
Yeah, it's a great series though. I
Okay,
really recommend it.
I'll have to give that a look. Favorite villain though. DC's got like a huge menagerie of villains.
Oh yes, that's the harder one for me. Picking a villain. I think like first one of the first ones that comes to mind is Sinestro. Sinestro is a
Oh
really
yeah,
neat and interesting villain, and the fact that he's changed sides makes me like even more intrigued about him. Like him becoming a Green Lantern more than once too. Like
yeah.
I think he is an interesting villain in the fact that he's not really wrong either about a lot of his intentions of being like,
I mean,
well,
in the end, like his initial like response was, "Hey, we're not making any progress. We're
yeah,
not helping anything.
yeah,
This isn't working."
yeah, yeah, and it took him doing whatever he did to get the Guardians to change things up, and he's like, oh man, like see, I actually won, like in a lot of the runs
Yes.
that he's been a part of. So Sinestro is not really wrong in a lot of what he's saying, and that's why I like him because he's a rebel. He doesn't want to be part of the Green Lanterns because of the freaking Owens. The Owens are
Yeah.
big brained idiots.
They're not good people.
They're not. There's
They're like the
sometimes where they
Watchers. They're
are,
not good
and then
people.
there's other times where they just revert back. They just go back to being like big brained jerks.
Jerks. You
You
space
jerk
jerks.
dummies who hurt my feelings.
I'm trying to think about what my favorite villain would be. I really, really enjoy. What's his name?
That's a good one.
Mr. Freeze.
Oh, Mr. Freeze, yes.
Like post animated
Did
series
you
Mr.
see
Freeze. Yeah, I really like that
a
a
lot
lot.
of progress with him and his wife in the comics now?
His wife became a villain. I did not see that
Yes,
coming.
and I think she's still around too. She like beat him and Batman, and then she just ran off, and it's like, oh, Nora's a bad guy now for like a long time. Is what it seems.
I think she might be dead, or they're presumed that she's dead
Okay.
because whenever they put the Wildcats in DC,
Oh man.
way to roll back to Image for a second.
Uh,
Am I right?
oh no, I don't. Wait,
Like
are they in?
like
Oh wait,
the mask
they are.
guy, I
They
think
are.
shot her.
I forgot about that. That they were Image for a little bit. Yeah, because they were. I thought they were Wildstorm comics. Uh, Wildcats for some reason. I don't know why I thought they were Image or not Image. Because I know that Jim Lee had them as his characters in his own section of
Hmm.
Image, which was the Wildstorm stuff, and he was like, "I'm gonna take a Wildstorm with me when I become like one of the runners over here at DC."
And he did it,
Yeah,
and he's like, "All right, they're in now.
and they're integrated now.
They're the more openly government affiliated Suicide Squad."
Yeah, and their series usually gets canceled after a few issues.
Oh, I can't. I don't think it'll last more than like 15.
Oh no, Wildcats never last for that long, unfortunately. They'll keep
Never
Grifter
ever.
around though.
Oh yeah, no,
Grifter's cool.
he's there to stay.
I think Grifter.
He at least will have a spot like in Batman or something.
Yeah, he showed up in Batman for like 2 issues or something in like the James Tynion run. So they're just like, he's cool. We'll keep him here. And he also showed up in like Future's End for like a few issues. And they were like, he's also cool there. But we're not really.
Everyone that sees him in the comics is like, "What's Deadpool doing in DC?" And it's like,
No,
no,
that's not
dynamic.
him. That's not him.
Ah.
He's cooler than that. Kind of. In my
Oh,
opinion,
man.
he's neat. I liked what they did with him in New 52. I'll say that.
Okay. Now, if you have to recommend a starting point for anyone that really wants to get into DC Comics,
Starting point.
is there really a good answer?
Yes, there are plenty of good answers. I mean, it just depends on what run you want to get into, or like So you have the Scott Snyder run from Batman. That's an easy start for anybody. I think that is
That
the
it
best
is.
place to start if you want to get into Batman. If you want to get into Wonder Woman, there's plenty of runs like George Perez's run, or I'll say this, I like the New 52 run of Wonder Woman. I like it. I thought it was neat that it embraced a lot of like
I
the.
loved her in pants.
It's neat. I liked it. I like the explanation of how she could fly in that. It was cool. For Superman, I would recommend Superman Earth 1 or Superman for All Seasons. Those are both really great books. Lots of good.
All Star Superman's also good.
Oh yes, also
If you can't read it, watch All Star Superman.
yes,
It's also good.
the adaptation, the animated movie is really good. There's a lot of good animated adaptations for all these comics.
Oh yeah, I still like Under the Red Hood as my favorite animated
I think that's a lot
adaptation.
of people's favorites. One of my favorites too. I don't like how
It's the mood and the animation, the presence and the voice. It's just it all fits together so well.
so good. It's so good.
People are like, it doesn't follow the comics exactly. I'm like, I don't care.
It made it better.
Fine.
It made it better. It made it make
Like-
more sense because
I was gonna say, if the comics you have to follow it after Hush, and Hush is a big read.
well, that and
You-
how he
people shouldn't
actually-
start with Hush.
how he actually came back to life was because Superboy from another reality punched reality and broke it and shook Jason Todd back to life. It's like, that doesn't make much sense for anybody who wants to watch a solo movie. How are we gonna fix this? Lazarus Pit, easy fix.
Lazarus Pit, easy
That's
fix.
an easy fix, and I don't know why they haven't made that the main reason of how it came back anymore. I think they might have
Oh,
changed
man.
it once to that, but I think
I think it is now. I think Talia
I hope
and
so.
him now have that kind of agreement that that was the answer.
yes. I would hope so.
They brought back Superboy, like Superboy.
Yes.
So now there's like 3 Superboys.
Yes, there's a lot.
Or
of
is John Superman? I don't know. I
You
forget.
need to give him a different name.
There's a lot of super characters. I like the Chinese Superman
Yes.
who has like the yin yang magic
Oh,
power up.
He's
Yo.
so cool. I love his outfit so much. Gene Lun Yang writes that.
Yes.
And it's so good. He also wrote Superman Smashes the Klan, which I'm reading that right now. It's a really good book.
Oh, yeah.
I recommend. That's one I do recommend people to read because it's actually based off of like true stuff happening. The Superman radio show fought against the KKK, which is really cool to know about. Also, they invented kryptonite and some other stuff that Superman could do. I can't remember what other stuff, but kryptonite wasn't a thing until the radio show made it.
Oh.
So
There are like little things like that. If I remember, it wasn't until like the first like animated shorts of Superman until they actually put him in flying.
yeah,
Before that, it was just like he can just leap buildings in a single bound.
yeah. In the book, they kind of talk like he runs across power lines because he doesn't want to like hit any of the cars or anything. So I was like, I forgot he did that. I was like, I forgot he ran across power lines originally, and then he would just
Yo.
jump over things. So there's a lot of original ideas in there.
Yeah, comics are fun. Comics are fun until they're crazy.
Oh, yes.
And dumb.
Yes.
But we love them all the same. But yeah, no, we're getting a new series of, I guess, like animated shows probably starting up. If Superman's coming, I imagine a new Batman will probably be starting up soon.
There hasn't been a new Batman one for a while.
No, not like a legit run. I think Brave and the Bold was the last one.
I think Beware the Batman was actually, which that was really short.
Beware the Batman. I don't remember
Beware
that
the
one.
Batman was a 3D series. It was like the Green Lantern one. That was 3D.
Oh, okay. I didn't watch that one. I didn't I didn't know that was a series. I thought that was just
a lot
like
of people didn't know because it
a
came
series
out,
of shorts.
It came on really late, unfortunately.
Okay.
So there hasn't been
Interesting.
a Batman series in a while.
Okay. Well, I mean, things should be looking up for DC as long as HBO Max Discovery, whatever name they want to call themselves, doesn't fuck it up.
Yeah, I forgot they changed their name to Max instead because I guess they thought HBO was too mature. I don't know.
Max is where everyone's watching the soft core titties.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, Max sounds
Yeah.
bad. Max sounds more mature than HBO.
For real.
That makes me think of a Skinamax.
Yeah,
that's
see?
what that makes me think of. So I'm glad we're on the same page there. Of thinking.
I mean,
not real. That sounds more mature.
it's like when YouTube wanted to do YouTube Red.
Oh
It's like,
God.
guys,
I don't know
I
if you
hate to
know
hate to
this
break this
because
to you, but if someone's gonna try and shorten that, they're gonna get a surprise.
what's this? Uh, uh,
Oh, well, let me try looking for my normal stuff. It's
here it is.
a weird video search engine. I entered in Elsa and I got, oh God.
Oh no, Elsa Spider-Man. That you can just find on YouTube.
Yeah, okay, there's no difference.
There's no difference.
Hello, Raiders. But yeah, we are about out of time here, so question time. Chat, if you have a question for either me or Hikaru about comics or just in general, feel free to ask them in the chat.
Ask me thy questions. Question me. Interrogate me under the light. Moonlight.
Where's Harvey?
I don't know where the drugs going. Yeah, right now. Where the drugs going? I don't know. Swear to God. Where to me?
Where are they? I once got drunk at a birthday party. Batman. Not the Joker.
No.
It's the Joker. It's
Harvey,
different clown.
and we trust him.
We already been through that.
Bruce, calm
I
down.
love those Batman shorts so much.
I love that. I can love the bit that Game Grumps did where he just accidentally says Bruce's name is Batman. And he's like, Batman, can you pass the mustard? That shit always gets me. And then there's just like a giant freaking mustard symbol lights the sky.
Signal's up.
The signal. He eats a mustard. Great stuff.
There was a short recently, I forget who did it, but basically like there was no more smog in Gotham, so then no one could see the signal.
Oh yeah, because you really wouldn't be able to see it.
Batman's like, maybe we could light some fires. There won't be enough.
Did you see they actually
about the
did
docks?
that? They actually lit a bat signal. I think I don't know where it was, but wherever DC was located, for their like publishing place, they had a bat signal lit up on a building so you could actually see it. It was like
Okay, yeah, that'd be how you have to do it.
yeah, there's no other way that you would be able to see that. I think they had to use like a lot of light for it too. There's like
Big bulbs.
Yeah.
These are the bulbs used to signal airplanes.
Have you ever
And then we made it twice as big.
ever seen that video of the guy? He's like, "This is the brightest flashlight in the world. I'm gonna see what it does when I light it up here." And he's like up above a city that's darkened, and he just lights the whole city. That's basically what you would have to do.
Oh man, the future is a crazy. What was it we were saying earlier? We never ask ourselves if, just can we?
Yes.
Should we? Nah. Can we? Yeah.
That's kind of DC too, honestly. Should we make this decision in our media? Let's think about it later.
Should we kill Tim Drake again? No.
Oh, should we make Wally a killer? Yes.
No. What if we made Hal go crazy? Stop it.
What if we had?
What if the mascara wasn't real?
What if we had?
Y'all can't be stopped.
What if we had Nightwing lose his memory and his name wasn't Dick Grayson anymore? It was
Ah.
Dick Grayson.
Okay, I hated that arc
That's
so
so
much. I won't lie. I hated that arc
had
so
neat
much.
stuff, I'll say that. But no, it was so wrong. They did my boy dirty. Because Dan DiDio, one of the presidents was like, I'm tired of dick jokes. We're naming him Rick.
That was so
It
dumb.
was
That was
really
so dumb.
It was one of the dumbest decisions that they ever made. And freaking Nightwing was doing well at the time. And then they're like, no. Make him lose his memory.
And then it was the Court of Owls hypnotizing him.
Oh, I forgot.
He didn't have brain damage after all.
I forgot about that crap. And then he got hypnotized by Joker, I think, too, at one point.
Yeah, he did. The Joker took control of the hypnotizer. Ah,
That's
so
a lot
dumb.
They did a lot of crap to our boy, and he didn't deserve it.
I mean, I guess it was kind of cool having those like ex-police people be like Team Nightwing.
That's
You had to
the
see
part I
all
was saying.
you had to see all the different outfits.
Yeah, that's the
Like, oh yeah, he had that black and red tryhard outfit.
yeah. And then he was like training them too for like a little bit, and he was like,
For a little bit,
that's
yeah.
cool. But then they were like,
Then they realized that they were totally unprepared. Wasn't one guy a fireman?
I think so, yeah.
You are not prepared, sir.
That is not the right kind of training for this. You were under.
Well, I guess he can go down the pole to get to the cave. He's well prepared for that.
He's planned for that one. He saw the Adam West series a lot. He's like, I always want to go down the pole. That's why I became a firefighter. I
mean, when I was young, that I did have that thought once, maybe.
You know what? I can't blame you. It's a cool sequence. It's neat. Going down that pole down to the Batcave.
Whee! What you don't know is that if you don't hop off at the right time, you go down to the infinite void.
Down to the incinerator. He's like, okay, they don't know to get
that's the real bat cave. That's where all the bats go to poop and eat.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's how he takes care of that. No more
bats. We had to put them somewhere, otherwise they were just pooping on the computer all the time.
Alfred, pick up this bat guano.
Another Robin has died of rabies, sir.
No. The bats keep biting us.
Who knew that they weren't really good pets?
When he first was trying out, he's got like a bunch of pet bats, and they just keep biting him. He's like, keep getting put in the hospital.
Did you ever hear about when the government experimented with bats? This is gonna be like really off topic.
Oh, is that gonna lead into something from the comics?
No. Well, maybe, but in World War II, they planned on bats being strapped with bombs, sending them into the enemy headquarters, and then they would like blow them up.
Yes, that's so freaking crazy.
But the problem was like they're bats, so they're crazy, so they had to refrigerate them. But then one time the refrigerator either like broke or was left open or something like that, and they all got out, and they ended up like blowing up like a sergeant's car, the whole factory, a regular apartment.
Yeah, why doesn't Batman do that?
Because history tells us things.
Goodness.
We learn from our mistakes.
That's like the Emu War. That's almost as bad as that. The Great Emu War.
Okay, now your turn. What's the Great Emu War?
Okay, so Australia went to war with emus, and they lost. That's basically the whole story.
That's all I needed to know. I'm already down.
That's how I.
Man.
That's how I remember hearing it. Is that they had a war against emus because they were either becoming overpopulated, and they were just trying to take them out, and then they just ended up losing anyway.
That'll be boars in the States. The boar population is increasing so much that it's actually becoming a threat.
It's getting crazy. It's too many animals.
Pretty soon it'll be boars or us. Canada's fine. They have the mooses to fight the boars.
The mooses. The meeses. What do they call them? Meese?
You don't fuck with the moose. A moose is the hippopotamus of the forest.
Oh my god. Never thought of it that way.
Hikaru, please tell everyone what you've got planned for your streams coming up.
So tomorrow I'm going to be playing a game called Eastward. I'm super excited about that. I'm planning to do some stuff for YouTube. I'm doing a JoJo quiz that's going to be testing people's knowledge on the anime JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Yeah, I've heard about that.
It's a great anime that I love so much. And it's what inspired my design. One of the characters, I loved him so much that I was like, I want to have his color scheme and in a pomp like him.
It is it's like my favorite season.
Season 4 is just a great part. It's so different.
It's so much fun.
It's a good part. But yeah, I don't have too many things planned except for playing some games, hanging out with people hopefully soon. I have a trans charity that I'm planning out as well for the future of this month. So I'm hoping to get.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
I'll make sure to retweet and plug that.
Yes, I'm trying to get it more planned out here soon. I originally had ideas for people entering their own video submissions about being trans and in the VTuber community. I haven't received any videos yet, so it might be.
A lot of people don't want to out themselves, especially in today's climate.
Yeah, so. It might be something else that I have to do, more like playing a game and then raising money that way, or getting pies thrown in my face.
Also good.
eating a pie full of hot sauce. That'll be one of them.
Yeah. Ugh, no thank you.
I'll do it. I'll do it for all of us.
All right, and then on here on the Zarataro channel, we have another Yo You Like That tomorrow. We'll have Katana joining us where we talk about Transformers. So everyone feel free to stop in for that. And then I think also some Sly Cooper tomorrow night as well.
Ooh, nice.
But Hikaru, I want to thank you so much for hopping in and chat with me about comics. It was fun. I hope you had a good time as well.
I did. I had a really great time.
Thank you everyone for coming by, for the raids, and for watching and commenting. Y'all have a lovely day, and we hope to see y'all later. Bye, Q!
Bye.